Gunner, what are you thinking about Collins?
He sucks. He flat out, he sucks.
How do you really feel?
See, he had a couple of good years when he came out. He was a high first-round draft pick.
He was.
He stunk with the Giants.
Yep.
And if Ron Rivera gets rid of you, you got to be bad. Because Landon Collins hasn't been good since his second or third year in the league. And so why would you put him back there? I think he would be more of a liability than an asset if you bring him in. Now, obviously, you can get him dirt cheap at this point because he's in the twilight of his career and he just wants to play with somebody. So you could get him for a veteran minimum, basically with a few incentives here and there. But he's not the kind of guy I want back there.
Welcome back, everybody. Derek Gunn, Barrett Brooks, Rob Ellis, Sports Take. 3 hours of power we provide each and every day. JAKIB Sports YouTube Network. Interesting NFL. We'll get to the Sixers in a second, guys. And Zach Berman's going to hop on at 2, Joe Conklin at 2:30. But comings and goings in the NFL, we mentioned earlier, Ryan Fitzpatrick retiring, but also Landon Collins being released is now available for the Eagles to potentially jump on. Would seem to make a little, Gunner, you're muted, but it seemed to make a little bit of sense here for the squad to jump on. I know there's been some debate. Gunner, what are you thinking about Collins?
He sucks. He flat out, he sucks.
How do you really feel?
See, he had a couple of good years when he came out. He was a high first-round draft pick.
He was.
He stunk with the Giants.
Yep.
And if Ron Rivera gets rid of you, you got to be bad. Because Landon Collins hasn't been good since his second or third year in the league. And so why would you put him back there? I think he would be more of a liability than an asset if you bring him in. Now, obviously, you can get him dirt cheap at this point because he's in the twilight of his career and he just wants to play with somebody. So you could get him for a veteran minimum, basically with a few incentives here and there. But he's not the kind of guy I want back there. I'm plain and simple.
He's only 28, which is crazy. It feels like he's older than that, doesn't it?
Yes.
Well, there lies the problem. He's not a safety anymore. He's that hybrid
linebacker safety.
Yeah, he's a will linebacker-esque type of player now. Mm-hmm. He's a box player. A box safety / backer.
He's only played 20 games the last 2 years, by the way.
Right.
Too.
Right. So I just think at this point, if you're talking about running the system that Gannon's going to run, he could fit in it, actually. He really could fit in it because he wouldn't be a deep safety. He would be a guy that's going to be in the box, covering tight ends, covering running backs, the occasional wide receiver every once in a while. But he'd be more so a run supporter more than anything. And then, just like G said, they're going to run that 50 front, which is a 3-down front. You just have the nose would probably be Davis. Then on the outside, on the inside over the both guards, you'll have Javon Hargraves and Fletcher Cox over the guards. Mm-hmm. We call it a bear front or a Navajo front. Then to the outside, that's where you'll have your linebacker / rush in type of guys like Hassan Reddick and maybe Patrick Johnson or Kyron Johnson, kid from Kansas, and Patrick Johnson, I think he went to Tulane or something like that.
LSU?
Yeah, I think he was LSU.
Yeah.
So that's the type of guy that, those are on the outside, those guys. No, he went Patrick Johnson. He
was Tulane. You're right. I'm sorry. I was in the right state. Right church, wrong pew. Yeah.
Yeah. So, he's that hybrid type of guy that's a rush end / linebacker, just like, the other Johnson is, Kyron Johnson is, which is exactly what Hassan Reddick is.
So you take a sniff, Barrett, but Derek, you want no parts, right? Is that kind of where you guys are?
I'm like Mike Singletary. Can't win with him. Can't play for me. Can't
do it.
Can't do it.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
I would consider it on the cheap with zero expectation. Like, I'm not depending on him to come in here and make any kind of impact. But I think Barrett makes an interesting point in that the defense they're probably going to be playing would probably suit his skill sets, even though he's not the same guy. He's nowhere near the same guy that came out of Bama. You guys remember when he was coming out, man? He was highly touted. I know he went a little later than people thought, but he was a beast in college.
He's a big hitter, but he's also big injury prone. And anytime you talk about a big hitter, you also have big misses. He missed a lot because he was always trying to get the kill shot.
Yep.
So he missed a lot of tackles as well. And his last year with the Giants, was so. And then his 3 years in Washington, he really didn't do a whole lot.
Yep.
So I think he may find a home in the NFL. But if I'm looking for a safety to plug a gap in a crack in the wall, that's not who I want in the back end of my secondary.
I hear you. All right, makes sense. Let me throw